Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Men must create themselves. Men must create themselves. I don't care. Look, I'm gonna tell you something now, and this comes down to masculine and feminine energy. Too many guys just wanna feel like, oh, well, you know, I see that guy over there getting women and I see this guy over there being successful. Okay, what are you doing about it? See, like I said, masculine and feminine energy. The feminine energy, the nature of it is just to say, just to lay still, just to be there. And when I say lay still, I don't mean just a sexual, what they doing sexually, but I'm saying ultimately it's a passive energy. It's a peaceful energy. The masculine energy, though, is active, it's aggressive, it's assertive. It wants to establish its boundaries. It wants to establish territory. It wants to go out and conquer. And then a man turning that energy on himself, he'll conquer himself. He will build himself into the type of man that he wants to be. He ain't gonna sit there. Like, I have a real problem with a bunch of guys who will look at the Chads and Tyrones and say, oh, well, it's over, I'm not that. Build yourself. Like, a big thing is that height thing. But like I said, I've personally known some guys, they were short statured, but that didn't stop them. They built themselves up as best as possible. They hit the gym, they dealt with their looks. They hit the gym, dealt with their body. They educated themselves. They were powerful. In fact, I've met women now who say they preferred a short statured guy because of that. Because despite everything, they keep going. And that could be anybody. That could be anybody, because let's be real, most of us are not born with just the right genetic combination and everything. Indeed, even the guys that many other guys call Chad, I've met a lot of them. Ain't that many, but I still was in position to meet a lot of those guys. They be in the gym sweating along with you. They be in the gym just as hard. They be working out just as hard. I met a few, they were athletic. They had to work. Let me talk about that for a second. You got to work if you're an athlete. Those guys had to work for their body builds. So even they really weren't, they might have been born at best with the genetic potential. But, you know, funny thing with potential. Okay, I got a truck in the background. I'm going to let it pass. I ain't going to pause this. All right. The thing about potential is just that. You still got to work to enact it. You got guys out here, they potentially millionaires, but they sitting around playing Xbox. If they just got the work, they got the talent and everything already within them, but you still got to bring it out. And that's the thing with a man. We don't sit around. We do something. Whatever our situation, we conquer it. You know, we do something. That's our nature. Even when we dealing with women, like a big thing, like when women talk about a problem, they like to talk about it. They just like to talk. That's their big thing. They'll just talk about it. Men, on the other hand, we're fixers. We're like, as soon as they say the problem, they say, oh, just do this, this, and this. Some women, well, a woman who's not as hip as to a masculine nature will get mad, but a woman who is, she'll be just thank you, because that's our nature. That's our nature. But this particular video isn't about just women or even getting women. It's about you. What type of life do you want as a man? What do you want? Where do you want? You know, I've had a lot of people the past few months compliment me, you know, say, hey, nice place, nice place. There were years ago, I couldn't even get the credit to even think about this place. They'd have laughed at me. They would have just even a credit to get this place. Shoot. Years ago, you know, sleeping on an air mattress. This is by educational background and everything. It was a lot. Years ago, there was 1 week I had $4 to get through the week, and then even other weeks, I was good if I was working, and I would be good if I could eat 6 chicken wings. 6 chicken wings and a mandarin orange or something during lunch. That was my lunch. And as you see now, I eat a lot better. Look, here's the thing. But to even get to this point, I had to create it. I had to work, you know? Men have to conquer. If you don't like where you are at life, you don't like the situation, okay, work, build it. You can build your body, at least to its best. Very few men are at their genetic potential. You might say, well, I'm slim and stuff. Oh, you can still put on some muscle. Maybe you ain't gonna be a big bodybuilder without steroids, but you can still do something. Or if you're a big old dude, you carrying that weight, you can still lose something. You still might be endomorphic or something, but you could, there's some endomorphics that got a tight ass body. You know, they built it. Or if you, let's get into a bigger thing, money. Hey, you know, money ain't everything. It's just up there with oxygen. That's the tool men have to get through the world. What are you doing to make money? What are you doing? You don't like how much money you're making? Okay. You got a choice whether or not to get a part-time job. You got a choice to try to get some certification. You got a choice to get some education in your thing. You can create it. You can create the life you want, the very life you want. And is it going to be easy? No, but it's not supposed to be easy because a man's supposed to conquer. You can't conquer. Yeah, when you're trying to conquer something, like say a nation trying to conquer the other nation ain't going to lay down and say, hey, just come in. Oh, you got to fight. But you got to fight for everything. Or if you're going through some trouble in your life, say you went through some traumas, you got to fight through it every day. Or you got a medical thing, you got to fight through it. I remember that movie Creed. You know, the story about, Apollo Creed from the Rocky franchise. He had an illegitimate son, Adonis Johnson. And, Adonis didn't even, he didn't even really give a shit about his father. But then he hooked up with Rocky Balboa, wanted Rocky to train him and everything. But then a great thing in that movie was not just Adonis' story, but Rocky's story. Rocky had cancer and Rocky was ready to give up. And Adonis, I never forget that scene. I even teared up a little bit because it was powerful. With Adonis looked at Rocky and said, I'm not training unless you get the treatment. So if I fight, you fight. So what did Rocky do? He had his greatest fight ever. And then I definitely teared up at the end when Rocky climbed the steps. When he climbed the steps, after going through all of that, he fought. He created himself to get to that point. So you always going to fight. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what a man do. We're built to be warriors. But that's the thing right there. You got to create yourself. If you don't like where you at, if you don't like how you look, you can do some stuff. If you don't like your living situation, you can do some stuff. Shoot, that's the part of the house of the man, to be an eagle, to see ahead. So you start planning. That's the logical planning thing. So you don't like it, boom. I was looking at this spot like months before I actually got in it. I was looking at this spot and I said, okay, boom, boom, boom. Figured out my budget, everything. That's what a man does. And everything I am now, I created. Nobody else do. See, that's the final thing to think about. And this is part of what I talk about with my whole sovereignty thing. This could be, hey, this ain't a sovereign Saturday, it could be a sovereign Wednesday. But I'm always going to talk about that. But the thing is, look, I wanted to be here, create it. If you want to do something, you got to create it. You want to be sovereign, you got to create your life. Choose the life you want and then work towards it. You got to have that vision, then you got to have that hunter to get it, the warrior to protect it. And indeed, shoot, if you're going to deal with any women, the healer within you. Because that is your choice. Because you're either leading or you following. Now, you got a lot of guys, they get in a certain position and say, oh, this it, I'm this or that. Okay, so what are you doing about it? So that's the thing. That is the thing. A man must create himself. So that's all I got for today. As I always say, keep rising. Peace and blessings, y'all.